So in such a society where perhaps it's not the lack of intelligence or education, what truly does freedom or independence for women mean?
Education helps, but not by much. Income liberates, but again not by much. Any number of women, highly educated, coming from top-notch schools and colleges, they are still just refined versions of the model you narrated. What's still remaining within her, in spite of all the external changes? The dress has changed, the food has changed, the language has changed, even the ideology has changed. The one in the metro might be a staunch feminist, holding so-called very progressive views, and yet something remains unchanged. What?
Acharya Ji, we as medical professionals often come across women who, when asked about, say, their medical history or even menstrual details, are baffled and refer to their husbands or in-laws for decisions or to take their decisions. My sister, during her residency in gynecology, met patients on a daily basis like this, who would simply say, "Arey mere mard ko bula do," and will not be able to recount what their test reports were, what their...
The patient would say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Or what their results were, what their present condition is. So in such a society where perhaps it's not the lack of intelligence or education, what truly does freedom or independence for women mean? And if marriage is such a structure that pulls them back into being dependent on someone else, on another family, where exactly does education or income stand finally?
Education helps, but not by much. Income liberates, but again not by much. Yes, obviously, all these are factors that contribute to the woman's welfare. You must have a fair legal system. You must have provisions for due security. You must have adequate representation in the legislatures, right? And you must have the right FLPR number. Women must be present in the workforce, right? You must have all these things. They are necessary, but not sufficient. Not sufficient. Any number of women, highly educated, coming from top-notch schools and colleges, even in professional streams, right? Coveted vocations. They are still just refined versions of the model you narrated. See, what a tragedy. Here, you probably could imply that the woman is coming from a rural background, is not educated, does not even have a bank account of her own. Therefore, she is dependent on the male members and others, right? So you wanted to imply some kind of correlation or causality. She is in bondage because of lack of education and lack of financial independence. That's the link you want to establish. Yes, that link does exist, but that link does not explain everything. There is much more to it. You have women coming from IIT background, IIM background. You have women coming from maybe even your own prestigious institution or the Ivy League institutions abroad. You have women coming from all these places. And those women, inwardly, you'd be shocked and surprised, are still versions of the story you narrated. How does that happen? Now they have education, they know the world, they have already earned a lot, and yet they are psychologically unfree. How does that happen? Yes, they have put aside illiteracy. Huh? They have put aside financial dependence. Right? They live in relatively liberal and emancipated societies. Yes. Huh? They have also put aside the usual kind of dogma and superstition and the very obvious load of tradition. All that they have put aside. They speak differently, they wear differently, they walk differently. But there is still one thing that they have not put aside. You help me with that. What's that?
So is the
They have
conditioning.
put aside the sari, right? Now they are in the corporate attire. So that's gone. They are not wearing even the usual traditional symbols like bangles, let's say. So that too has been put aside. Right? They don't speak the rural, rustic kind of vernacular. They have picked up English. So there is a lot that they have discarded. But still, there is one central thing that they are carrying. Yeah, but let her come with it.
So, in general, they might have put aside the materialistic shackles, but what about the shackles in the mind? Have we been able to put them aside?
The stuff of mind has largely been replaced. Largely. So the rural housewife keeps thinking of the next meal, what to cook, how to serve, huh? And where are the kids, and is their laundry done, and that's the usual content of the mind there. And when you talk of the so-called liberated woman in a metro, the stuff of mind too has changed. She's thinking of other things, and yet something very central has not changed. Maybe she is thinking of the next party or the next promotion in her office. The mind stuff is, this one is thinking of the next Ram Leela, and will I be able to attend that? Will my in-laws grant me permission to watch that? And that one is thinking of the next Hollywood release. The woman in the metro, she is thinking of other things. What's up on Netflix next? Fine. So the stuff of mind is not much the same, yet something central remains the same. What's that? You put these two side by side, and you would not notice much in common. From appearance to language to concerns, everything would appear different. Yet, I insist, something has remained unchanged. What's that?
Acharya Ji, is this because that's how the nature made us? Men and women are
No,
dependent on each other.
no. I'm not talking of the physical organs. No.
No, not the physical organs. Like a corporate woman, a daughter of a rich man. Like he has a wife who is housewife, just don't much literate. If she is stuck at midnight somewhere, she will still call her husband. And the daughter, corporate daughter, working in the corporate culture,
You're
will
assuming
still.
a lot. You're assuming that the woman is a wife. You're assuming that the husband will definitely come over and save. You're assuming that being a woman means being helpless in the middle of the night. You're assuming a lot. If I am a woman, obviously I would be stuck out somewhere and feel helpless at midnight. That's an assumption. That's an assumption. What's still remaining within her, in spite of all the external changes? The dress has changed, the food has changed, the language has changed, even the ideology has changed. The one in the metro might be a staunch feminist, holding so-called very progressive views, and yet something remains unchanged. What? Now, it's so obvious that you don't want to mention it. I'm a woman. She's the rural one. I'm the urban one. Yet, I am a woman. She remains identified with the body and the gender. The gender remaining a very primary identity, and as long as that remains, bondages will remain. Physicality cannot be challenged. Yeah? That is sexual. That is biological. That's the anatomy. You cannot change it, and there is no need to challenge it. But gender is a construct. Gender comes to you by way of conditioning, right? And it is a part of gender to take yourself as your body. I am a woman. Oh, she'll say, I am a woman in bondages, constraints, limits within the household. And this one will say, I am a woman with wings, flying free, educated, empowered. But still, I am a woman. That's. And as long as that remains, the final shackles have not been challenged. All change will remain superficial. In fact, the woman will become a double load carrier. She will carry the burden of modernity while simultaneously carrying the burden of her womanly identity. She'll be doing double shifts. I'm a modern woman, so I'll do everything that modernity demands of me. At the same time, I remain a woman at the core. Therefore, all that comes with that identity has to be maintained and serviced. Why must the human being be so closely identified with her body? Why not human rather than a woman? Why must physicality be so central to her existence? The same question we can ask about the man as well, but that's not the topic right now. Why must the sexual aspect of the anatomy be so overwhelming? Why can't she take herself as consciousness rather than the body? You remember how we closed the last discussion? Who am I? I am the one who knows, sees, understands. Bodho aham. Classically, again, returning to that, you don't simply say Brahmasmi. That's the final statement of liberation. Let's like the dying breath of the ego. Brahmasmi. Much before that, you start with Naham Dehasmi. I need not be identified with the Deha, the body. Just download the Acharya Prashant app, and there you go to the community section. and you have live testimonials streaming in at the rate of 1 every 5 minutes. I'm seeing lives change in thousands, if not millions, every day in front of my own eyes. We are doing it. We have actually done it.
Join the community of more than 2 lakh participants on the Acharya Prashant app. Your first month is completely free. You'll get full access to Gita Mission. On the app, you will get regular live sessions, daily exclusive conversations with Acharya Prashant, access to the vibrant Gita community, wisdom exams, curated news, audiobooks, quotes, and much more. Search Acharya Prashant on Google Play Store or Apple App Store and download now.